Hello. I would like to welcome to the Bleed Lows podcast. Welcome back because this gentleman is a friend of the Carne Asada, a true friend of the Bleed Lows podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Steve Garvey. Hello.
Plug in the applause. Here we go.
It's so
Hi,
great to
great to be
see
with
you.
you. Great to be with
Um,
you.
Thank you for making time for us. But
Sure.
we definitely had to talk to you about your upcoming event.
Mhm.
This sounds so fun, so special. It sounds like a really true, unforgettable experience. And I'm all about experiences,
Sure.
especially over stuff. I'm like, give me the experiences. So you have the Steve Garvey Field of Dreams event coming up. Break
Mhm.
it down. What is the Field of Dreams event?
Well, it was started by a wonderful artistic company group, popflypopshop.com. I've had the opportunity to work with them several times in the past. And then they decided to do something very unique, very special. And they know that I believe that what I've done all these years is the memory business, entertaining fans and people around the world, taking baseball, whether it's South America or Dominican Republic in Winter League or a tour of Japan in '79, youth group to Russia. And last summer, I went to Israel for a week and got a better understanding of what was happening there, but spent a day with the Israeli national team and talked to the kids and talked baseball, the common denominator in the world. But all of a sudden, I was contacted. My dear friend Jack DeLance put this together. And on July 31st, at the Field of Dreams, Dyersville, Iowa, we're going to have a wonderful day and a half, really, of learning about this wonderful field and area that have been created through the book Field of Dreams, and then the movie starring Kevin Costner. But it's become I would say, embraced by but all people who love the game of baseball because of the story about the belief that baseball is much more than here and now. It's been about the past, how it was created in the 1800s, and how we fall in love with the game, which is our true national pastime. So on the 31st, we'll gather in the afternoon and I'll do a little walk and talk about the facilities. Then we'll have a great dinner, and I'll do questions at the dinner. And then after the dinner, which should be at a beautiful time in the day, as the sun starts to, excuse me, go down, we'll take pictures of walking out of the cornfields, which is the iconic picture we remember from the movie. And then
Yes.
and then just continue to have fellowship that night. The next day we'll visit two of the museums that have been created because of the Field of Dreams experience. And I think if you were to say, gosh, I wonder what I'm going to do this summer on vacation, I think it would be a perfect place to fit a couple days in that would create a wonderful memory.
It sounds so wonderful. I got really excited when I was reading about it. So, the Steve Garvey Field of Dreams event takes place in July. It's a couple of days where baseball loving fans, sports fans, movie fans, I mean, just loving life and experiences fans can come together. So, I'm just trying to make sure I encapsulate all of this wonderful.
Yeah.
You get to meet you,
Mhm.
um, get to be on the Field of Dreams, just like that movie. This all takes place in Iowa. You also receive some collectibles from Special Pop Fly collectors, some
Mhm.
items. You get to take photos with, once again, a legend. Yeah, there it is.
There's one of
With
the covers that Popfly Pop Shop does phenomenal artistic work that
wow.
they put on actually a cover of a magazine, limited edition, and people are going to have the opportunity to be given limited edition items with their swag bag, I guess people call
Yeah.
it. Protect that bag for a long time.
That sounds so wonderful. And once again, I have to highlight this. They also get to have dinner with the sun coming down outside. I mean, I'm trying to picture this. It sounds phenomenal.
It
So
is.
that experience, 2 days, July 31st to August 1st, correct? And it's actually a limited seating amount too, right? A limited participation. So
Yeah.
you have to get in there while you can.
Yeah,
Am I
first
right?
32 people. Yeah, first 32 people.
Okay.
We really start to build momentum once we start talking about it. I've done it on Instagram. I talked about it at the adult camp this past weekend. Maybe the early part of May, but it's not too soon to make a commitment, work out the travel. And last year, Dale Murphy hosted the first one. And I talked to him and he said, Garv, this is perfect for you. He said, do you love the fans like I do? Of course, Dale was a two-time MVP. He should be in the Hall of Fame. God willing, he will be pretty soon. And he was perfect for the first time. And it is that type of day and a half experience
Right.
that's precious and memorable.
Right. And want to make sure that people can find out more about this event. So, the Steve Garvey Field of Dreams event.
Right.
Wonderful. Once again, it is limited space. You want to start planning now. And it just sounds like a wonderful way to spend a couple of days. And I mentioned not just baseball, not just movie fans. This would make a great gift, right?
Sure.
Sign up
Marathon.
for this event now, and you could give it to your father, your husband, your brother for Father's Day. I mean, I'm thinking about that.
Well, what we're doing too is later in that afternoon, we'll play catch. We're not going to play any games. There's no
Right,
chance that I
right,
pulled a hamstring on this trip.
right.
Like we had a few of them last weekend at Dodger Stadium.
Uh-oh, save the
But
hammies. Save the
yeah,
hammies.
yeah. But we'll play catch, which is the great American father-son, mother-daughter, father-daughter. All those
Mhm.
things. And I'm chairman of Fans for the Cure, which is a prostate cancer foundation. And what we created for this summer is a program called Catch for the Cure, in which people play catch and then make a donation to Catch for the Cure. Fansforthecure.com. You can go there. And, we're going to play catch and have baseballs for the people to keep. And of course, I'll autograph them and ask them to make a donation to the single most significant men's disease, and that's prostate cancer. So, this whole event has such a warm component to it.
Right.
And I asked the owners, and they're wonderful people, if we could kind of do a little fundraiser, and they said, "My Lord, would love to." So that's part of it too.
You said it. You said it. It's very warm. It's very meaningful. And it's a win-win for everybody who gets to participate, gets to meet, baseball legends, gets to kind of for at least a short amount of time live and act out your field of dreams, fantasy. This is baseball. This is Americana. And that particular movie really does affect a lot of people. It's a favorite. When you ask people, what's your favorite sports movie or what's your favorite baseball, Field of Dreams is right up there all the time. Is
But
that one of your favorites?
oh, absolutely, in my top five for sure. The Natural's my favorite, but they're similar in many ways. The setting was kind of the same time period, probably within 15, 20 years of each other, and probably less. And they
Right.
both had that feel. Obviously, one had less activity, than the
Right.
other. Uh, that's right. The Natural obviously was a lot more active and so forth,
Right.
but two stars in it, with Robert Redford and of course our dear friend as the real feature in Field of Dreams. But I remember we went there. We had a National American League All-Star group, probably about 12 of us. And we went there and we played the Dreams players. And these were the players that played in the movie. And they were all very good players. They were much younger at the time.
Right.
And we got a chance to play against them. And, we have been together several times. It was a great Nabisco series back probably in a few years around that we would go to different fields around the country and play the local Walmart team.
Right.
But we go there and we start the game at Field of Dreams in the ballpark nearby. And all of a sudden, it's the third inning. We're playing 6 innings. and we're down 6-0. And George Brett and I and Ozzie Smith are looking at each other, and we're going, "Hey, wait a minute, we're losing." Yeah, and these guys were much younger than us. So we said, "Let's go." So we kind of turned it on a little bit, and we ended up winning 12-7, I think. But they challenged our pride. That's right. Yeah.
You're like,
Hey,
whoa, whoa, whoa. Yeah.
little sidebar. What happens when you push us mature guys a little bit? And our pride
Right.
kicks in. But
Well, you said it. I didn't. That word mature. My favorite baseball movies, Bull Durham and Sandlot. So I got to elevate my baseball movies. I got to get back to them. I do
I was
love
in I
them.
was in Sandlot too. I played a coach for one
That's
of the kids teams in
right.
Sandlot too. Yeah, we
That's
shot it in Vancouver,
right.
Washington, and every now and then, Sandlot 1 will make a reemergence, and of course they'll bring Sandlot 2 with it. So I think I got a residual check the other day for 39 cents. So they've showed it a lot.
Hey, as long as it's coming in and not
That's
going
it.
out, we're
That's
winning, right?
Amen. Amen. So
Well, I really appreciate you taking the time. I mean, baseball is so important to so many of us. It's so romantic, the sport of baseball. It's the
mhm.
history, the you love your team. Sometimes you hate, what happens to your team. And this is a great adventure, the Field of Dreams event. I'm really looking forward to hearing more about it.
Mhm.
July 31st to August 1st in Iowa. You have to sign up. You don't have to, but you should sign up sooner than later because it is limited space.
Mhm.
Anything else you want to tell people who are curious about your Field of Dreams event, Steve?
No, I think it's so unique. I mean, there are fantasy camps. Most teams have fantasy camps, and it's wonderful when you interact and you play. And like I said before, you're probably going to pull a hamstring every now and then. But this is more semantic. It's about a book that was truly captures the semantics and the charm and the love story of falling in love with the game. And I think that's what this is going to be about. And I've had a 76 now. I've had a long life and a long career from the time I was a bat boy at the age of 8 in Tampa, Florida. My dad was a Greyhound bus driver, and the end of March that year, he came home and he said, "You want to skip school tomorrow?" I said, "Wow, Dad, why?" He said, "Well, I've got a charter to pick up the Brooklyn Dodgers from the Tampa airport and take them to St. Pete to play the Yankees in the exhibition game." And this was the spring after they had beaten the Yankees for the first time in the fall of '55 and were world champions. So I got to bat boy the next day and sit next to Gil Hodges and Roy Campanello and Jackie Robinson and Duke Snyder, and fell in love with the game of baseball and these wonderful men. So 12 years later out of Michigan State, I signed with the Dodgers, and the rest is history. Almost 15 and a half years in LA and 5 in San Diego. So I've been very blessed to be part of the national pastime and got a few stories. So it's going to be a
Yeah.
memorable trip to the Field of Dreams.
You said it. You said it yourself. You've got the stories, you've got the pedigree, the love of the game, and you want to share it with others. And that we can't ask for anything more as baseball fans. Thank you so much, Steve. I do
Sure.
have to ask you one more question now because you
Yeah.
brought up the Padres.
Mhm. Yeah.
You are a Dodgers great, a Padres great. There's no denying that. But I'm curious because I feel like you and I've spoken a couple of times and we've not discussed this. There are plenty of Dodgers fans who don't believe that the Dodgers Padres is a rivalry.
Mhm.
Whereas a lot of Padres fans really, really, they come for the Dodgers. I mean, it's just I'm loving even talking about it. What say you? I feel like you are the expert to ask. Is the Dodgers Padres rivalry a thing, a real thing?
Oh, absolutely. I think as an expansion franchise around 1969, it took a long time for the Padres to develop a culture and then put a team together that would allow them to compete every year. When I say compete, probably play at least 500 baseball, um, get into that race in September where you're actually close to having a chance to win your division and league. So in 19 oh gosh, 82, my contract ran out, and nobody ever thought I wouldn't be a Dodger. And I knew it was going to be my last contract, and we couldn't come to an agreement, and I became a free agent. At that time, 5 teams could draft you, so to speak. So the Giants, Cubs, Yankees, Houston, and San Diego drafted me, and I did a tour around the country and ended up in San Diego. And Ray Kroc, the founder of McDonald's,
Right.
said, "I want to talk to Stevie by myself." And okay, so I went to his clifftop home in La Jolla and came in. It was he and I in this huge den. I could see LA down the coast one way and Mexico down the coast the other. And he said, "Stevie, sit down. I'm going to make you a Padre." And I thought, "Oh, wow." And, he said, "I know what you can do on the field." He said, "But I think off the field, I've heard you speak, and I know what you've done in LA in terms of charities, from multiple sclerosis to ALS to diabetes to eventually prostate cancer, and how you care about the fans and making a difference in people's lives." And he said, "I want you here." And I said, "You always want to be wanted." He said, "But I have one problem." And I said, "What's that, sir?" He said, "I can only pay you in Big Macs and French fries." So I said, "Okay." I said, "Could I have a lifetime of it?" And he said, "Yeah, I think I can do that." He said, "But more importantly, I think we can find a few dollars and cents." And he said, "We're going to get this done by tomorrow." And we did. His son-in-law, Ballard Smith, was the president. My agent, Jerry Capstein, met the next day, and I became a Padre. And then within 2 years, 1984 was the emergence of San Diego as a competitor. And we beat the Cubs. I hit a walk-off in Game 4, played the World Series, lost to Detroit, but that was the beginning of the Padres learning how to win. And of course, even when I played in LA, you almost dispelled San Diego because they were still building, and we did pretty well. But the problem was, you go down to San Diego, family comes down, it's nice and comfortable. Padres aren't as good, but they want to beat you more than anybody. And you walk out of town with where you lose 2 out of 3 games. So now it's different. The Padres with new ownership with Peter Seidler about 6 years ago. His investment in the team has now made it very, very competitive. And now it's truly a rivalry. And anybody that dispels that just has to look at the last few years. And this year, look how tight the National League West is between the Dodgers and the Padres, the Giants. And, the Diamondbacks are very good. And they're sitting out there about 3 games behind. So arguably, the National League West is the best division of baseball.
I agree 100%. And you said it yourself. It's so tight. I think as of today, the Dodgers they only have one more win than the Padres. And between the 2 teams combined, they are dominating. So
it's interesting. Really, the 3 teams haven't played each other. And it's just going to start once you get to another month or so. Then they're going to start playing each other in this matrix between the Giants and San Diego and LA and Arizona. And it's going to be really interesting, almost on a daily basis. So buckle your seats, everybody. That quest to win back-to-back world championships is going to be tough. The Dodgers are still the favorites, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely not going to be easy. But I really think the Dodgers got better this season over, the offseason, but not going to be easy. You said it. I love like I said, Steve Garvey, the expert on both the Dodgers and the Padres. And if Steve Garvey says it's a rivalry, then it's a rivalry. I'm going to now just confirm what you said. And if someone comes at me, I'm going to say, hey, take it up with Mr. Garvey.
Mr. Garvey told you, and
that's right.
I've seniority on these things, but I think it's great for baseball. I think
it really is.
If you look at, even interleague, you look at the Yankees and Mets, very good teams, competitive, and everybody talks about the Red Sox, but they're a little behind. Then you look at the Dodgers and San Diego. These are very good. And look at the Cardinals and the Cubs, so to speak, and other regional. It's good for baseball, but then when you step outside of it and you get to October, I mean, the Yankee-Dodger World Series were always the best in baseball. The 2 boroughs, arguably the 2 greatest franchises, meeting each other in the postseason was great for the game. It's tough nowadays. Football takes up a lot of airtime, a lot of space, real estate on TV. Basketball goes into June. Hockey now is more popular than ever. So we need these rivalries, and we need to keep the game that's our national pastime.
Wonderful. So well said. I appreciate you reminding us of your baseball. You're just truly a gentleman and a scholar of the game. Thank you so much. I'm so excited for the Steve Garvey Field of Dreams event. Once again, July 31st through August 1st. And you can visit popflypopshop.com for more details. We're going to post it on all about it and the links on Bleed Los as well as yours. You said you've been talking about it on your socials. I can't wait to see the photos and all the videos coming from it. Congratulations once again on a wonderful event that also it does a good thing for one of your many philanthropies.
I say,
Thank
yeah.
you. Thank you, Steve.
Thanks.
Everybody take
God
care.
bless everyone. Thank you. We'll be live streaming, by the way, too.
Ooh, even cooler. I love it. Thank you.
Are we millennial or what? Absolutely.
Pop Fly Pop Shop, y'all.